Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get you truly well-informed. Ever wonder what really happens when a financial giant makes a massive move? It's often more than just numbers. It can feel like a cultural earthquake, especially for the folks managing our wealth. Today, we are really getting into one of those earthquakes, LPL Financial buying Commonwealth Financial Network. This isn't just business as usual. It feels like a collision, scale meeting service. Raises some big questions.
Definitely. And to unpack it, we've looked at a few key things. We've got LPL's own press release, the official story, then insights from Diamond Consultants on what it means for advisors for the industry.
Okay.
And also a really detailed piece from Advisor Legacy, focusing specifically on advisors who are, getting close to retirement. Our mission, basically to pull out the crucial bits, connect the dots for you, and help you see not just what happened, but why this deal is, such a big deal for financial advice.
So, beyond the headlines, the huge numbers, what's really going on here? It sounds like this fascinating clash of identities. You've got this giant publicly traded firm swallowing up a company known for its boutique feel.
Exactly. That personalized, tailored approach meeting a financial superstore.
How does it even work? Let's start with the basics, the facts. LPL Financial, already a huge player. They officially closed the deal to buy Commonwealth Financial Network on August 1st, 2025. It was announced back in March, right?
That's right. And the numbers, they're pretty staggering. Commonwealth brings about 3,000 advisors, managing at this $305 billion in assets.
Wow.
So with this deal done, LPL now supports over 29,000 advisors, about 1,100 institutions. And they're servicing and custodying, basically holding around $1.9 trillion in assets.
$1.9 trillion.
Yeah, for about 7 million Americans. Having nearly $2 trillion. What does that actually let LPL do? It's not just size for size's sake. It suggests a kind of market power, maybe innovation potential, or maybe it stifles things. It's a question worth asking.
That scale is hard to wrap your head around. But moves like this always have a reason, right? What's LPL's angle? What are they trying to achieve strategically?
Well, from LPL's perspective, it's about using their tech, their big wealth management platform, their capital. Rich Steinmeier, LPL's CEO, he basically said their goal is creating the best-in-class firm for financial advisors. Adding Commonwealth as part of that plan.
Right, increasing capabilities, reach, solidifying dominance.
Pretty much.
But it's also interesting who they bought. Commonwealth isn't just another firm, is it? They have a very distinct reputation.
Exactly right. That's key. What did LPL really acquire here beyond the advisors and the money? Commonwealth has this very specific culture. Premium service, supervisor friendly. They were ranked #1 by J.D. Power for advisor satisfaction for 12 years running.
12 years? That's incredible.
Yeah, it's the kind of streak sports teams dream of. It's this boutique ethos, Goes back to Joe Deitch, founding it in 1979. So LPL bought an identity, not just a business.
Okay, so this culture clash is where it gets really interesting for me. You've got Commonwealth, known for intimacy, partnership, advisors feeling like individuals. Someone called it a tailored suit, which I love, like a bespoke tailor.
Yeah.
And then LPL defined by its massive scale, its platform, more like a giant department store. How do you actually fit that tailor shop inside the superstore without, ruining the suit?
Well, that brings up what one source called the prestige gap. It's fascinating. Commonwealth advisors, on average, bring in nearly $1 million in revenue a year.
$1 million?
Yeah. Compare that to LPL advisors, around $350,000 on average. Nearly 3 times less.
That's a huge difference.
And it's not just money. It reflects different ways of working, different peer groups, maybe higher net worth clients. So the worry is, can that boutique legacy, that tailored suit vibe, really survive being pulled into the orbit of the industry's biggest player? This massive independent broker-dealer platform.
That prestige gap, it's more than just dollars and cents then, isn't it? It's about identity, how they see themselves. That's a big hurdle. So what is LPL actually saying they'll do? How do they plan to keep that Commonwealth culture alive?
Well, they've made some specific promises. They say the Commonwealth brand stays. Wayne Bloom, Commonwealth CEO, he's joining LPL's management team, but also staying as CEO of Commonwealth.
Okay, so some continuity and leadership.
Right. And they're planning a slow rollout for the integration, stretching it out to late 2026. To ease the transition, Bloom himself said they're focused on preserving what our advisors value most, our deeply connected culture and the personalization. LPL even set a 90% retention target.
90% is ambitious. Those assurances sound good on paper, but the obvious question is, haven't we heard this before? Are advisors right to be a bit skeptical here?
It's a totally valid question.
Mm.
Advisors are naturally wary. Our sources point out, LPL bought other boutiques before, like Allen & Co., made similar promises. And over time, those distinct identities tended to, fade. Operational efficiency, which you need at scale, often pushes towards uniformity. And uniformity usually wins. It's not necessarily cynicism, maybe just pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition. That sounds about right. So they're watching closely to see if LPL can break that pattern this time.
Exactly.
Okay, let's be fair, though. Is there any way LPL could actually pull this off? Could they genuinely keep that Commonwealth feel alive?
It's definitely a challenge. Maybe. If they give Commonwealth real autonomy, not just brand, but in operations, tech choices, service perhaps. But the devil's in the details, right?
Always.
If it's just branding, history probably repeats. If it's a real commitment to distinct service for distinct advisors, then maybe there's a shot.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's shift to the advisors themselves. All this change, this uncertainty, what does it mean for the person actually working at Commonwealth? It must have been a lot on where they are in their career.
Absolutely. For younger advisors, this disruption, they might actually see it as an opportunity. More time to adapt, maybe leverage LPL's bigger resources, new tech, wider reach.
Yeah, they could see upside.
But for advisors who are maybe, say, 5 years out from retiring, it's a whole different story, much more stressful.
Right. Their priorities are different.
Totally. They're thinking stability, legacy, making sure clients are okay. This deal forces a big decision. Do I speed up retirement? Sell the practice now while the price is good? Or maybe look for a smaller firm, an RIA that's a registered investment advisor, a fiduciary somewhere that still feels boutique. The stakes are just higher near the finish line.
And that timing you mentioned, the slow integration until late 2026, that's actually pretty important, isn't it? It gives advisors a window.
Yeah, a crucial window. It means they can be proactive, make a plan before things get potentially messy with the full integration. It's not happening overnight, which is something.
Boy, some breathing room.
Yeah. But it also creates this really dynamic market situation. Competitors, Raymond James, Ameriprise, Morgan Stanley, they're already trying to lure unhappy Commonwealth advisors away with big checks.
Opportunistic.
Of course. And then there's the bigger picture. Nearly half of all advisors are heading for retirement in the next 5 years or so.
Half. That's huge.
It is. And that wave could flood the market with practices for sale, maybe pushing prices down eventually.
Yeah.
So acting now, while valuations are still strong, averaging over $3 million apparently might be smart, demand is still high.
3 million average. Wow.
Yeah.
But beyond the money, the market stuff, there's a big emotional piece here for these advisors, right?
Oh, absolutely. Often they worry less about their own finances and more about their clients. How will clients react? Will they stay? Will my life's work, my legacy survive this? One advisor compared it to selling the house while the family still lives in it.
Oof. That really hits home, that personal connection.
It does. But what's interesting is while advisors agonize over client reactions, sometimes for years, clients are often more pragmatic. Yeah. Once they understand how it affects them and they feel reassured about service continuity, they're usually supportive. So weirdly, this whole acquisition mess might actually be a sort of gift. It forces those tough succession conversations advisors tend to put off.
A catalyst for necessary planning. Makes sense. So our sources actually lay out some clear paths forward for advisors caught in this, right? Concrete options.
Yes. First up, sell now at peak value. Lock in those strong valuations over $3 million average before the market potentially gets crowded.
Okay, straightforward enough. What else?
Second, sell and stay. You get your money out now, monetize the equity, but stick around for a set period to help with the transition. This can lower risk, help preserve the legacy, and it's usually better for keeping clients on board.
Right. The familiar face helps.
Definitely. And third, partial equity or downsizing. Sell just a piece of the practice or maybe slim down the client base. Frees up time, you stay involved, maybe even boost profitability by focusing just on your top clients.
Those all sound like viable strategies. But what's the thing advisors often miss when choosing? Is there like a hidden pitfall or an underestimated benefit?
That's a great question. I think the most overlooked thing is often the cultural fit with the buyer. Even if you're only staying short term, it's easy to focus just on the deal terms, the money. But if the buyer's culture just completely clashes with yours, that transition period can be miserable for you, for your staff, and even for your clients. The hidden benefit. Maybe with a partial sale, it lets you really refine your practice, fall back in love with serving just your ideal clients, maybe work longer but happier.
Finding that right fit, even in an exit, is key. Okay, zooming out again. This LPL Commonwealth deal, it's not happening in a vacuum, is it? It's part of a bigger trend.
Absolutely not isolated. It's part of this huge accelerating consolidation trend reshaping the whole wealth management world. Driven by economies of scale, private equity money pouring in, and critically, that succession issue with so many advisors retiring, it's a macro shift.
And with each big deal like this, something gets lost, doesn't it?
I think so. That diversity of firm types, cultures, it's shrinking. Advisors used to pick firms based on a specific feel, a cultural match. Now the choices are narrowing, dominated by these mega firms. Commonwealth being absorbed by LPL. It really symbolizes what that boutique independence is up against.
It's a challenge to that whole idea of tailored support.
Yeah. It really is culture versus capital, boutique versus behemoth. And for many advisors, especially those near the end, it feels like legacy versus liquidation. The stakes are just incredibly high for them right now.
Their decisions now really will define that final chapter.
It's just such a powerful reminder, too. Advisors spend their whole careers telling clients, be proactive, de-risk before retirement, plan ahead.
Right. Practice what you preach.
Exactly. But so many don't apply that same advice to their own business, their own transition. Waiting in situations like this rarely helps. This LPL deal really puts it starkly. Take control of your exit before the market or the integration dictates it for you.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, the LPL Commonwealth story leaves us with a really critical thought, doesn't it? For any advisor listening, no matter where they work.
I think it does. If the industry keeps consolidating like this, if culture keeps bumping up against capital, how are you going to make sure your professional legacy is written on your terms? Not just dictated by the next big merger or market shift. It's not just about what you might sell, but really thinking about when and how you choose to write that final chapter yourself.